Good morning and welcome to Friday morning and Coffee and Conversation, part of the Chatting with Charlotte channel. So today is episode 6. I can't believe that I've actually recorded something every day this week. This was a experiment, and so far it looks like it's been pretty successful. If you like what you're seeing and the comments that I've made, please subscribe and leave your comments so I know things that are interesting to you that I can maybe talk about in the future. So today I am feeling better. Got a great night's sleep last night and I'm feeling a whole lot better today. So I just wanted to let everybody know that watched the video yesterday. And today I want to talk about lament and celebration. Now, on the surface, it's hard to imagine how those two would go together. But they do. And I just want to share some thoughts about how that works and how it might be helpful to you. So, lament is defined really as mourning or expressing genuine grief and passion and emotion for something that has happened that has caused you to grieve. It's generally about a loss of some sort or something that's happening that's impacting you emotionally. And lament is actually speaking about that and expressing that sorrow, where celebration is the opposite. It is passionately expressing joy and gratefulness and thankfulness for something good that's happened. So how do those two work together, and what does that have to do with healing from trauma? So they really do. And we don't have to look any further than the book of Psalms in the Bible to get some insight on that, because David laments and celebrates in several of the chapters of the book of Psalms. He begins a chapter by lamenting about things that have happened, the loss of his son, his enemies coming against him, and he states the fact and he expresses his distraught, he expresses his sorrow, his anguish, his fear, and he states it very clearly and very poetically. But then at the end he says, but yes, I know you're there. And I worship you, God, and I honor you, and I give all the glory to you because I know you are my God. So he ends the chapter with a celebration. And that's what I'm talking about in your life. In my life, there were times when as a child, I really couldn't do that. I couldn't really celebrate because there wasn't a whole lot to celebrate. But I did, and I didn't really share the anguish that I was experiencing either because there was nobody to share it with. But when I started healing and started that process, I did this. I would express my anguish. I would write it out. I would say, God, why is this happening? I don't understand. This is so painful. Please take this away from me. And then as I expressed that anguish, I would remember the things that happened that were good and were reason to celebrate, even if they were very, very small, minute things. And so it was helpful to me. For a moment even, it brought me out of the sorrow and the sadness. It didn't negate it, because you're not dishonoring the child that was hurt when you celebrate a victory, because those are important too. It's important to acknowledge the sorrow. It's important to acknowledge the loss that you experienced as a child, and that anytime you experience a loss, even now. But it's also important to celebrate the small victories that you have. If you have a day where you don't have a significant event, it's time to celebrate that victory and just say, yay, I didn't have a flashback today. Or if you're like me, when I was in the depths of my healing in the beginning, I would have to celebrate, oh my goodness, I didn't have a flashback in the last 5 minutes. That's really what happens. And I had to really begin to do that. That's how I climbed out of that pit of being consumed by lamenting. Because lamenting is good for the soul because it allows you to get those things out of your head. It allows you to verbalize and acknowledge the pain and the sorrow. But then it kind of releases you to be able to then look at the small things that happen that are reason to smile. It could be something as simple as, oh my goodness, the sun came up today. I can smile. After a week of thunder and lightning, that's reason to smile. Or you could celebrate the fact that when you looked at Facebook today, you saw something funny instead of all the mess that we normally see. A friend calls you. Just little things. You had a good night's sleep. Some little things. Celebrate it. Celebrate the little things. Celebrate the small victories. Lament. Acknowledge the pain. Yes, absolutely. I had to do that. I still have to do that. Because it's important to acknowledge it and to allow yourself to feel that grief and that sorrow. But then also look for the small things that you can celebrate along the way so you don't get stuck in that in lamentation. That you can move past it and have the energy to face whatever comes next. So that's, as I said, this is me. When you express your lamentation, when you lament, you can do it in writing, you can do it in a prayer, you can tell a friend. The same thing goes with celebration. If you do both of them together, I promise you there will be a difference in how you perceive your day. Give it a try. And let me know how it goes. Please subscribe. Please leave comments. I enjoy hearing from you. Let me know if there's anything I can talk about or maybe address that I haven't yet, because I really want to do this on a regular basis. I want it to be interactive. So please interact with me and subscribe. And I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye now.